How do you know if the reflection staring back at you isn't your own? How do you know if the house you live in doesn't just have a history, but a heartbeat, a malevolent, hungry heartbeat? This is the story of Chloë, a woman who didn't just become a ghost. She became a warning, forever trapped in the glass she sought to control. Deep in the heart of Louisiana stands the Myrtles Plantation, a place of Spanish moss and southern charm, hiding a core of pure terror. It was here, in the early 1800s, that Judge Clark Woodruff lived with his wife and children, and it was here that a young enslaved woman named Chloë served them. But Chloë was different. She was curious, and she listened at keyholes, desperate to know the family's secrets. But one secret would curse her for all eternity. The legend says she was caught eavesdropping by the judge. As punishment, he sliced off her ear. From that moment, a seed of bitterness was planted, unaware she had just traded one prison for another, far more terrible one. Desperate to win back the family's favor, Chloë devised a plan. She would make them slightly ill, and then she would nurse them back to health, becoming their savior. She baked a cake, lacing it with poisonous oleander leaves. She presented it to Mrs. Woodruff and her 2 young daughters. They ate it gladly, but Chloë had misjudged the dosage. Horrifically, the poison didn't make them sick. It killed them, all 3 of them, dead. The plantation was shrouded in grief and fury. The other enslaved people, fearing Chloe's actions would bring worse punishment on them all, acted swiftly. They dragged her from her quarters, tied a rope around her neck, and hanged her from a great oak tree. But death was not the end for Chloë. It was only the beginning of her sentence. Her spirit, racked with guilt and rage, refused to leave. She was seen wandering the halls, her head wrapped in a turban to hide her mutilated ear, and she became obsessed with a single object, a large, ornate mirror that hung in the foyer. The legend says that in her life, Chloë believed mirrors could trap the souls of the dying. It is believed that as Mrs. Woodruff and her daughters lay dying, their final breaths fogged the surface of that very glass, and their souls were trapped inside. Now, Chloë is forever bound to it, a demon bride, cursed to guard the souls she murdered. But she doesn't guard them alone. She is said to pull the living into a torment. For over a century, guests and owners of the Myrtles have reported the same terrifying phenomena: the sound of children laughing in empty rooms, the ghost of Mrs. Woodruff searching for her daughters. But the most chilling evidence is always found in the mirror. People report seeing Chloe's face staring out from behind their own reflection. Others have seen the faces of the dead little girls peering over their shoulder. Some have awoken in the night to find handprints on the glass from the asterisk. Inside asterisk, Chloë is not just a story. She is a warden of a prison made of glass and grief, and she is always looking for new souls to join her. So, the next time you glance in an old mirror, in a quiet moment, pause, look closely at your reflection. Is that really you, or is it a mask worn by something else staring back? The story of Chloë teaches us that some crimes cannot be buried. Some regrets are so powerful, they build their own afterlife. She wasn't born a demon. She was made one by cruelty, by a single, terrible mistake, and by a curse that turned her prison into a looking glass for all eternity. This story was brought to you by Dreammarch Chronicles. We march into the shadows to bring you the forgotten whispers of history. If you dare to look deeper into the stories behind the legends, subscribe and join our journey, because some truths are waiting just beyond the reflection.